Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Arachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us the truth. Honors and salutations to the elect and to the men that died doing the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because they shall of ours first. To the women and to the women and children that believe on the true name of the Father and the Son, which the Father's name is Yahweh, He exists. The Son's name is Yahweh, He is the Son's name is Yahweh Shai, He is the deliverer, because He's coming to deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. All right. My name is Maka Allah Bun Gad Bun Yasharala with the Church of Philadelphia camp here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Coming back at you with another lesson. And Salaki, I haven't been, putting the lessons up like that because this channel was down for 3 weeks because of a strike I got. And I had a backup channel, which is same name, Maka Allah Gad, but it's two. If you want to, subscribe to that channel as well. Just for further strikes or offenses to these, these devils or whatever. But anyway, I just want to hop right into it. I want to go into affliction, because our people are being afflicted right now, and it's something that you got to think about constantly and daily, because if you're not being afflicted, and people, they tend to think that they're not afflicted, because they're not going through something. Like we are as a nation, our people are afflicted, we're sick, we're hurting, man. That's why we need our Savior, which is Yahweh Shah. We need that deliverer to deliver us out of this pain that we're in. We've been afflicted so long we think it's normal. That's like PSD, man. All right, but the word affliction, it says meaning. What is the meaning of affliction in the Bible? It says a cause of persistent pain or distress or mysterious affliction. It says great suffering, felt empathy with their affliction. The state of being afflicted by something that causes suffering. All right. Now, let's go into the etymology of this word, which basically is going to say the same thing. I'm just going to hit the key point at the top. It says, this is the online etymology, as you can see, dictionary. And it says, C1300, it says affliction, misery, sorrow, pain, distress. Originally, especially self-inflicted pain, self-mortification, religious. All right, there you have it. More, you can read it for yourself. But let's go into the scriptures. All right, because all this pain that we're going through, Salakia, all this pain that we're going through, the Lord is He's going to bring us up out of this affliction that we're in, and that's starting with the elect, and then you're going to have your 1/3. But this is the book of Romans, chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, matter of fact, I'm going to let's start at verse 1. It says, therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with the Most High through our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand, and rejoice in hope of the glory of the Most High. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. So we have to glory in these tribulations that we're going through because they're trial periods. As the scriptures tell you, man, gold is tried in the fire. What's the fire of adversity? So when you being tried, like that's testing your character, as it says in the scriptures right here, your patience, your knowledge, and your restraint, which is it all ties up in the patience, man, because it tells you to make not haste in a time of trouble. All right, and you have people that tend to do that. Like we're learning to become rulers of a whole nation, man. Rulers of a whole nation of people, and which our people are hard headed. But once they get in the kingdom, they're going to be in their right minds. But then you still going to have rulers we're going to be rulers over the other nations. So the elect, starting with Yahweh Shah, who's the head of of us. Lord's will not be a part of that number, and then you're gonna have King David and the rest of the 144, man, King David's men. All right, so you're gonna have your elect, and they're going to be the top dogs to sit on the thrones, man, to rule. All right, the main ones, the enforcers, so to speak, of the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, and even putting on them heathens and giving orders to the rest of Israel, man. All right. So to get through that, we have to be afflicted, man. And the Lord is trying. So if you're not being afflicted, like when you fast, you're being denied. You're denying your flesh of food or whatever. So with us being afflicted here in Babylon, we're being denied our kingdom, our riches, our women, our children, our everything, man. You know. Only thing we're not being denied here is the Lord, man, because he gave us his name back. And at one point in time, we was denied that because we didn't know his name. So that's an affliction in itself. But now the Lord is bringing his men up out of that, man. He been doing it, So the reward is coming. But we have to go through that affliction. You have to be afflicted. And the affliction is going to, like, when you come into the end of something, that's when you have to put your all into it, like running a triathlon. You go through so many different obstacles to get to the end of the race, man. But right now it's like, yo, the finish line is in sight, man. You can see the finish line because everything that's happening right now is all a part of prophecy, man. All right. So let's go to James chapter 5. We're gonna start at verse 10. All right. This is James chapter 5 and verse 10. All right. It reads. Salakia. It says, take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. So look at all the ancient prophets, right? The things that they had to go through. Look at Yahushai. We have instances. Look at Samson, the King David, John the Revelator, John the Baptist, all these great men, man. And look at their lives, what they had to go through. John the Baptist lived in the wilderness, man, eating locusts and wild honey. That was his main meals, So he was denied, he was afflicted, but he was a man of the Lord, and he had like the scriptures tell you, if much is given, much is required. All right. So, we all bought with a price already, and that's the blood of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. So it's a lot of things that we have to go through. This affliction, but the Lord tells you it's but a light affliction compared to the reward that's at hand, that we're fighting for that penny. So we have to be afflicted, But you have examples of our ancestors that were afflicted and the outcome. As the scriptures tell you, it says, whoever trusted in the Lord and was forsaken. Roughly paraphrased, whoever believed in the Lord and was forsaken, man. All right, verse 11 says, behold, we count them happy which endure. Yeah, it says, ye have heard of the patience of Job. Now see, you heard of the patience of Job. That's another one. That's a beautiful example. You heard of the patience of Job and have seen the end of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. The Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is very pitiful and tender of mercy. So Job he's a major example of being afflicted, man. And not once did he curse the Most High, man. Or turn his back. So that's a great example of being afflicted. And on top of being afflicted, keeping your integrity. Because when you're being afflicted, those are hardships, those are hard times, but you can't compromise your morals or give up your integrity. And that's what the Lord is looking for. He's looking for men. You have to have integrity at all times. All right. And this walk, man, it gets It gets lonely sometimes, but hey, that's being solitude, and that's being a soldier. Because a soldier being solitude, which what solitude is what alone. You know, the you what's that? Matthew 7 and 13 when it talks about the straight gate. You know, it's narrow. Only one man at a time could go through. You have to enter ye at the straight gate. And straight, when you go into that word straight, it goes into what? Suffering. So this whole thing is about suffering. When you on punishment, you're supposed to suffer. There's nothing nice about being on punishment, man. All right, so let's go to James 1 and just go to starting at verse 2. It's the book of James, chapter 1, starting at verse 2. It says, My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that, Salakia. It says, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire wanting nothing. All right, so that's when we get to the kingdom. We're not going to want for anything, you know. But we have to have faith in what we're reading, believe in what we're reading. All right, because if you don't believe in it, you don't have faith in it. What's the whole purpose of even practicing it, or studying it, man, or even teaching it? You know, affliction is something like when you get afflicted. That's something, man. You know, the Lord has to deal with you with. Some things cannot be taught. You can't teach a person faith, man. That's a gift. You can't teach a person belief. That's a gift. You know, you have to believe on the Lord that He's going to come and deliver you up out of this captivity, or out of this affliction, man. Which is starting to see the signs, and you read about them. All right, because it's about to get real hectic, man. Real soon, real very soon, man. You know. But let's go to the book of Sirach. Salakia. It's the book of Sirach. We're gonna go to chapter 2 and start at verse 1. Sirach chapter 2, starting at verse 1, and we're going to read down to 11. All right? It says, My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Chakodash, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And make not haste in the time of trouble. See, so when hard times come, you're not supposed to, you're not supposed to make haste and want to run and, just try to make the wrong moves, the wrong decisions. You know, that's what you don't want to do. Because if you make a haste decision and do things like that, the Lord can very well jack you up, man. Trying to be too fast, trying to move too fast. All right. It says, Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So yeah, you want to cleave unto the Lord, cleave unto these words, man. Draw nearer to him. The lower you go down in the society, you know, because hey, man, a lot of people gonna lose a lot of things, man. You know, and that's where you find your strength at. All right. But the lower you go, the closer you're supposed to bring you to the Lord, because He's shaving off all these things of this world, man. You know. And that comes with faith, man. You have to have faith to believe, man, because the Lord He is the Father of spirits. Yahweh is the Father of spirits. All right? He is the Father of all spirits. So with that, if He's the Father of all spirits and we're His children, He controls all these spirits. So He can make these spirits, like it says, if a man's way so pleaseth the Lord, even his enemies will be at peace with him. You know? Even in your affliction, man. The Lord has mercy on you, man, so that no harm comes to you. All right, verse 4 says, whatsoever, see, here it goes. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate, which I was just explaining. Call Allah by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Chakodash. So you have to be patient when you change to a low estate. You know, and you're going to be forced to do that in a very near future. Because because you know you got this chip out, you know, and they doing this V and all that. That's just setting you up and putting all these things in your body, which is furthermore, it's just to destroy Israel. You know, so this is their last stand. You know, like the brother Kasap from down there in Washington, he bought out. at camp on Saturday about Job, man. And the last thing that Satan could do to Job, he said, flesh are for flesh. So he wanted to physically put his hands on Job, on his flesh. And he is doing the same thing, man. You know, they're doing the same thing right now. So now what they want to do, they want to touch your flesh, put things inside your flesh, inside your body, so that they can say that you belong to them. You don't belong to them, man. You were already bought with a price. So you don't want to, when you brought to this lower state, you don't want to make haste decisions because you're sitting there looking at your family. That's your affliction right there. You have to take it cheerfully. So you don't want to run to them for food, man. Just know that the Lord's going to feed his men, man. All right? It says, verse 5. And this is why it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right? The furnace of adversity. All right? Pain, suffering. All right? Gold is tried in the fire. It says, believe in him, and he will help thee. See that? Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Thee that fear Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua for his mercy, and go not aside lest he fall. All right? It says, ye that fear Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. And like I said, that's what we're doing. We're working for that penny. We want that reward, man. To be those righteous rulers, man. The righteous rulers, the first fruits of the kingdom. That's the goal. That's the mission. All right? It says, it said, and it won't fail. You got to believe in him. And it says, wait for, I'm going to read that again. Ye that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, going back to verse 7. Ye that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, wait for his mercy. Wait for his mercy, all right? And go not aside, lest ye fall. So it's a thing about what? Being patient, because the Lord is patient, you know? It says, ye that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. All right? It says, look at the generations. This is one of my favorites. It says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? Yo, the wild Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because this is what I was looking for. Did ever trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did ever despise Salakia? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? All right? So you have to call upon him, man. You know? And believe, man. You got to believe. That's the key point. Believe and have that faith. And you read as well. You know? And see what happened in the generations of old, which is showing you right here. All right? It says, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction. And that's what we're talking about, okay? He saves in the time of affliction, so guess what? He's coming to save us out of this affliction, out of this captivity, and heal us from this sickness, man. Take away all of our stress, man. You know? Take away all of our sickness, man. You know, mentally sickness, spiritually sick, physically sick. He's coming back to take all those afflictions away from us. You know? And we'll constantly be in joy, man. What does it say? Everlasting joy. Peace. You know? And that's what we're looking forward to. But before we get there, yo, the hour of temptation which comes upon the whole world is upon us, man. You got the hour of temptation, the hour of betrayal. You know, which we're what? And we're coming into the Passover season where Satan is heavy in the mix right now amongst brothers, man. He's trying to turn brothers against each other, you know, trying to cause that division real hard, man. And I believe this might be our last Passover, man. So you have to be mindful of what's going on, all right? You can't be ignorant to Satan. You got to know how Satan operates, all right? So this is the book of Acts, chapter 14 and verse 22. All right, it says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. all right, with much tribulation, all right, adversity, tribulation, affliction, all right, we're being afflicted, we're being tested, it's pain, it's agony. And that's why I brought out the word, the definition of the word at the beginning of the lesson, all right? So I'm going to read that again. This is Acts chapter 14 and 22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. So you're supposed to exhort your brothers to continue in the faith, not try to put him down, man. A talk behind his back, a talk shit, a backbiting. You know, that's nigga shit. That's what they do in the world. You know, and if you have to shave off that old man, you have to become that new man. You know, so what you want for yourself, you want for your brother. So why not exhort him and lift him up? You know, some brothers are needy. Some brothers are more needy than others. So instead of look down and look bad on him and you know, help that brother out, man. You know, you lend that brother a hand. Give him suggestions. All right. But it says in that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God, the Most High. So much tribulation, that's how we're going to enter into the and that's trials, man. You know, hardships. You know, stress. Because you have to go through a lot of experiences as well. Because if you don't go through any experiences, how the hell are you going to be able to judge something? If you haven't been through that situation or something similar to that. You know? And hey, man, some men been through a lot more than other brothers, man. Some brothers been through way more, man. A lot of experiences that the Lord put them through while to put them in the position to be a righteous judge, to be able to judge, to be able to help brothers, to be able to encourage brothers in certain areas of their life. You know? Because we're all being afflicted. And that's why you're supposed to try to make the burden on your brother lighter, man. But this is Psalms chapter 34 and 17. Salakia. And it reads, the righteous cry, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. So that's beautiful. Let me read that again. This is Psalms 34 and 17. It says, the righteous cry, and Yahweh heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. All right? Matter of fact, we're going to keep going. It says, Yahweh is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. And that's what we're in, man. So the Lord is telling you that he's going to deliver you. He's for you, man. We're of a broken heart, man. We're broken-hearted people. We're in mourning, man. We want our kingdom back. You know, we want salvation. So, it hurts when you really sit there and you crying out to the Lord. Some days, man, you'll have tears in your eye, man, just bawling, man, talking to him. You know? But guess what? It says he hears. All right? It says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh delivers him out of them all. All right? I'm going to read that again. It says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh delivereth him out of them all. All right? So you're going to go through many afflictions. The righteous, man. You know? Because you're trying to be what? That righteous judge, that righteous man. All right? But the Lord said he's going to deliver us out of them all. And remember that, and don't never forget that. That's why I said what was written for, that was written aforetimes for our learning and for our understanding. All right? So these things that was written before us is for our learning and for our understanding. All right? So I'm going to bring out this last scripture, and I'm going to close it up. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 16. It says, starting at verse 16. It says, for which cause we faint not, but through our outward, but Salakia. Let me read that again. It says, for which cause we faint not, But through our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. All right. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things that which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So we can see our affliction right now. So that's just a temporary thing. All right. That's a temple. It's a temporal thing. It's a small thing. What's the saying in the world, man? That's a small thing to a giant. You know. That's a small thing. It's light, man. It says it's a light affliction. You know, when it's only but for a moment, it might seem like a long time when you're going through it. You know, like when you in pain, you hurt something on your body or muscle or whatever, and that pain is like it's hurting, it's shooting, and it feel like it's taking forever. You're like, oh my God, but once it's gone, it's gone. You don't remember it anymore. And that's the same way with this affliction here. We're gonna be like, what? Once we get back in the kingdom, it's gonna be like it never happened. You know, you're gonna be like, damn, what? Babylon. Then your children gonna be like, oh, for real? Yo, these people had y'all like that? And that's gonna put the spirit on them to whoop their ass even more. You know? But at the end of the day, man, we have to be afflicted. We have to go through this affliction. You know, to get to the get what they say, no pain, no gain. All right? So the pain is now and the gain is to come. All right? With that, man, I hope that this lesson was edifying. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it goes to the ears that need to hear it. Until the next lesson, I'm going to say Shalom Yasharala. We almost home. Shalom.